We got some emails from the listeners on a few things that we've been talking about lately. You haven't been gone long enough to be out of the loop, so you're going to remember all this stuff. Where Bryant has emailed. Remember, we were talking about the photo ops that Sasha Banks and Naomi were doing with the with the fans, where they were like standing in a different zip code.
Yeah.
And they had pictures, and it looked so preposterous.
For $130 a pop.
Yeah, and we're like, Jesus. And we understand, but I understand COVID. But if you're not going to do the thing, don't say you're going to do the thing, was our take on it, right? So Bryant emails, totally agree with your take on Sasha COVID pics. Spent $75 for a photo op with Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay.
Who are they?
Are they on reality TV or something? Should we know these names?
Are they NXT or are they?
But anyway, at wherever last year, I had to squat down in front of a metal barrier between me and the table they were sitting at. Complete. Right, it wasn't as funny until you laughed, and then it.
For $75, yeah, you get the squat.
For $75. I had to squat down in front of a metal barrier between me and the table they were sitting at. Complete bullshit. Worst fucking $75 ever spent in my life. I get the whole COVID thing, but like you said, if it bothered him that badly, don't go. Colt Cabana was an ass, but at least he didn't charge $75 and make me squat down in front of him like Johnny fucking Bench. Anyway, just wanted to pass that along. Well, thank you, Bryant. I think if you got to pay $75 to squat, we'll see that right there. That takes me out of the game. My knees are too bad for that. I can't get any photo ops anymore. What would happen if you'd have just ripped a big fucking flatulence right there? If you knew a lot of men, when they've been walking around for a while and then they suddenly squat or bend over, there's going to be some fucking emissions. The retro rockets are going to fire. What do you think old Naomi and Sasha would do if they just squatted down and he just lost control and fired off a chocolate rocket right there? Just let the fudge.
That's where your mind went? That's where your mind went. Okay.
Just drop the whole Browns team off in the Super Bowl right there in front of.
I haven't heard that one before. The thing is just when you get a photo with a celebrity, the whole idea is you get to look like you know the celebrity or met the celebrity. When it's just you
you're
squatting.
Somehow having an affair or some kind of relationship.
Yes. Yeah. But when you're just squatting in front of a barricade at a table and they're sitting behind you, it's, look, I got near a person. That's a ripoff.
Did you ever see?
I don't even know where you're going and I'm laughing already.
Did you ever see Ox Baker's promotional pictures with Steve Austin?
No.
Oh, my God.
With Steve Austin?
Okay, in the late 90s, I was booking the third-party appearances, right, out of the office in Stamford. And not only to the independent promoters that wanted to use the guys who are underneath guys that had days off, but also there were a couple of big agents and players at the time. One guy owned his name's Sam Romanella, owned a sports card store and, et cetera, up there, and several of them, I think, in the malls. Anyway, we were doing business, booking the top WWF names out on weekends. They were in the Northeast to these shopping malls, these major malls in Connecticut and New York and Jersey that drew thousands of people. And they would go sign autographs for 2 or 3 hours, and Austin was getting $20,000 a pop or sometimes more to do these autograph sessions at a mall, right? So at the time, Ox Baker was living in Connecticut. And this was Ox just passed away, a couple of years ago, and he was 80, so he was nearing 60. And, Ox still had the booming voice and that face, but, then he lost some of the intimidating size when he was over 300 pounds or whatever. But anyway, he's still Ox Baker. And Ox never wanted to miss a chance to make some money or sell some merchandise. So imagine this, it's a black and white 8x10 photo, not even glossy. It's been run off on, the printing press or whatever of the time. At this independent fan fest that I saw Ox at, he's got this picture on his table. Imagine Steve Austin sitting at a table in a shopping mall, signing autographs, looking at the autograph that he's signing. So you can see it's Austin, but he's looking down at what he's doing. And then there, obviously having just slid in somehow beside him behind the table and almost still leaning into camera frame, is Ox Baker wearing street clothes because he just come to the mall. And the caption in giant capital letters was, "The Fabulous Ox Baker," and in smaller letters underneath, "with good friend Steve Austin."
There's a version of that I found an image of. And it's even funnier because Austin is partially blocked by what appears to be a blonde woman. You can only see like the end of her hair and maybe a shoulder. It's blurry, so it's hard to make out. But Ox Baker is just standing behind Steve Austin, who looks like he doesn't want to be there. But Ox Baker standing behind him, talking to what appears to be Mae Young. You only see the side of her head, but looking the other direction altogether. And it's autographed to Andrea Ox Baker.
Ox and Virgil, if they hadn't been from different generations, they probably could have met in the middle.